Say hey everyone, welcome into another edition of Say Hey Plays. My name is Jose Bouquett. Alongside me is my guy, Dabby Cab. Apologies for the little tardiness. I was finishing up some graphics, chatting with my guy Cab about life and its mysteries. Cab, how are you?
I'm good, man. I was enjoying that conversation we were having before we came on. If you want to tell everybody what you're going to.
Yeah. I'll tell everyone. There's no one watching. It's just us two talking, right?
Yeah, nobody starts it over, so you're good. And it won't be there forever.
Yeah. And I'll tell you this as well. This is we're gonna start this show on a non-baseball gambling, I guess. Here we go. So I have a date on Saturday, first date post Helga. And Dabby Cab was telling me or whatever the fuck. I told Dabby Cab, and we're going to a go-go themed pool party, apparently.
He's going as Magic Manuel.
Yes. Yeah. I'm gonna have a full mustache by then. I'll really fit the part. But yes, Dabby was interested in my love life now. He was just asking questions. And real deal prime, I can't confirm it is with a girl. I can't confirm that.
Yeah, she asked him for some party favors, let's just call her Snow White. She's already coming out asking for that, doesn't know him. This one sounds like a winner.
No. She's a lovely girl who watches the channel sometimes. So I appreciate her. She's a friend of the channel.
Hey, don't get it wrong.
We don't judge. Shout out to her. We appreciate her efforts.
Been there, done that, did it again.
Yeah,
we're all good.
Who knows? But the end of Saturday, who knows where I'll be? So it's what a fucking interesting way to start these programs, Cap. The people enjoy our baseball capping just as much as our banter here. So shout out to us and Johnny Guns. It is not a shout out to our girl Chocolatey Waterfall, who I'm hoping is watching the program. Newest fan of Pub Sports Radio, Chocolatey Waterfall. Great, a great follow if you're inclined. But shout out to Chocolatey Waterfall. Let's get right into her.
We all know where your head's at. It's all right, bro. We're rooting for you. We're rooting for you.
Thank you. I need all the support I can get, guys. Say a prayer on Saturday night. And also just know Sunday morning I might be dragging ass again. So there's your other reasons why. But let's get into this game. Let's get into these cards. We've got 10 games on here. So a little bit of more of a dense Wednesday than usual. For us, Dabby Cab, but I'm excited to talk about it as I have to grab my notes. Lift my notes over there. I have to grab my notes, but I'm excited to talk about all these games, Dabby Cab. I only have one play officially right now. It's the under in the Red Sox game. We'll talk about it. But I've got some leans here that I'm very interested to hear your opinion on, Dabby Cab. So let's get into the action with the Atlanta Braves, Miami Marlins first game on our slate, and Braxton Garrett. As we heard this morning on Betting with the Bag, he's captured the heart of one Jimmy the Bag. He's a big Braxton Garrett guy now, and he's been impressive. He's been impressive to say the least. The Marlins, first of all, this is a stat that was it Ragu? Or I forgot who it was now that we should be looking at the wins in the games as well as pitcher wins. But Braxton Garrett, the Miami Marlins have won every game that he's pitched in so far this year, and that's pretty surprising for the Miami Marlins, first of all. Last time out, he was at the Braves, but that got rain shortened. But he was cooking. He was cooking. 3 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs. So, it's tough to say what we're going to do there. And career-wise against the Braves, he's been pretty good. I mean, he's only been in the majors for 3 years, so I can take away his one start in 21, 3 innings, 3 earned runs there. In 22, he went 0-1, but with a 1.69 ERA and 2 starts against him, 10 2/3, 2 earned runs. I'm a little blind today, but honestly, it just feels like it's a Marlins spot to me here. I lean that way, but I think the play that I'm really looking at right now is the first 5 under in this game. Kyle Wright has also been, up and down, but last time out, he seemed to figure something out against the Marlins in the rain shortened start. 3 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs. So I kind of like the under here. Both squads have been struggling against righties. Their full season numbers are worse than their last 2.5 week numbers. So I'm leaning that way, Debbie Cab. What do you think?
Yeah, I think this kind of I can understand like leaning towards the Marlins here. Atlanta had to use their bullpen in that doubleheader on Monday. So, that could affect them a little bit in this series here. And Wright's had a little bit of struggles this season, but, last year he was NL leading 21 game wins. That was just last year. This is a Miami lineup that has struggled to put runs up, to say the least. Here's the deal, like with this, I can understand, like I said, how this kind of capped towards Miami, but why? Why would, like, if with all the games that we have to bet every single day, why would going against the Braves be a bet that you want to make? Like, I'm not saying that it won't cash, because it will. Like, you can bet against anyone and win. It's baseball, but for me, it's just not something that I'm looking to do. So I'd either take the Braves or pass, which means I'm going to pass here.
Okay, interesting. I'm gonna move on that first 5 under. Yesterday I got fucking crushed. By the way, it was a super frustrating day. It was like down 3 units, which is becoming extremely typical for me, unfortunately, this year. But I feel like I'm seeing the board well. I just had a shitty time with the Phillies game. I shouldn't have added that. That was a mid-show ad, and I got kind of face fucked by 2 spots. I got that 0-0. Mason Miller, Bryce Miller start, which sucked, and then 1-0 with Ashcraft and Michael Wacha. So I feel like I'm seeing the board well prior, or unlike what my record says, 68, 98, and 18 down 34 fucking units right now. But if we're seeing the board well, I think. So if I tighten it up a little bit, I think we'll be able to start climbing in here. This is a lean that I liked, and I'm going to move on. First 5 under 4.5, minus 115 currently. So let's climb out of this bitch. One step at a time. Let's go to game 2, Dabby Cab. Let's talk Tampa Bay Rays versus the Pittsburgh Pirates, 2 of the best teams in baseball currently. You love to see that shit. Here's the thing, Dabby Cab. I love the Pirates more than anyone. I was one of the early adopters of the flag. We raised it all last year. I've been proud to see it been raised high and mighty this year. But Shane McClanahan is, off the top of my head, probably by far the best pitcher these guys will see this year. I mean, we'll have seen so far this year at the very least. I understand their numbers against lefties. Last 2 weeks, 145 weighted runs created plus and 186 plate appearances. That's 3rd best in the league. Full season, they're 6th best, 123 weighted runs created plus. But this is fucking Shane McClanahan. I think Shane McClanahan goes out there and dominates. This is my second run line bet of the year. I made one on the Astros and cashed, and that was against the Giants coming off of the Mexico game. But I'm going to take the Tampa Bay run line here, minus 1.5, minus 105. I think Mitch Keller gets touched up here against a really good offense. And it's no shame to Mitch Keller either. He's had a pretty good year this year, but the Rays offense is that good. At home, they're just different. So Rays minus 1.5, minus 105 for me.
Yeah, it's always fun when you get stuck pitching against the same team. Like McClanahan had the White Sox 2 games in a row, which White Sox suck. But he had them
both times on him too, minus 1.
Nice, and it was against Cease both times too. So those are good bets to win. Yeah. It's always nice to get a new team when you're coming out of that right here. So coming up against Pittsburgh, he's going to enjoy that. I could only agree with you here in this spot. But you did say it. These are 2 of the hottest teams in baseball. Right now, Pittsburgh's pitching staff is holding opposing hitters to an average of 240, which is, 14th best. But the ERA is 7th best in baseball at 3.55. The WHIP is a 1.3. Mitch Keller, he leads their team in strikeouts, so he's got 40 this year right now. I'm not a big fan of Keller, even though he's having a great season right now and he's been good. I would only look at the Rays here also, and I understand going run line. I'd even go first 5 run line. I think this is a good Rays spot still.
Interesting. By the way, I completely forgot and skipped over this fucking Mets-Tigers game, in this doubleheader. I had nothing for it. Scherzer versus Wentz, I believe it is. Is it Wentz? No, Wentz went in the first game, didn't he? It's Scherzer pitching against the Tigers, and I want fucking nothing to do with it. Was the point of it? He's returning. It's Scherzer Lorenzen. I'm a fucking donkey. But he's returning from suspension, super pissed. Honestly, I would, if minus 225, I'd rather take the Tigers at plus 185, but I pass this game with a lean towards the over here with Lorenzen sucking and Max Scherzer coming off a little bit of a layoff. So anything on that game?
No, I don't have a bet on it. Like I said, I've been keeping my volume low. I mean, I've only had like 8 bets in the last week and a half, like total. Cashed them all, which has been nice, but I've been keeping my volume low. This one's not one I want anything to do with. I know the Mets are cold right now. They've lost 3 of their last 4 games, but they've still won 7 of their last 10 road games. They've played well offensively on the road. They've put up 24 runs in their last 4 road games. Detroit's bullpen is also struggling here. So I think they're going to have a hard time slowing down the Mets here. Yeah, this is a spot where I'd only look Mets. And I don't feel like laying this juice right here. So I'm off.
Fair enough. Let's move on to the next game here. Chicago Cubs versus the Nationals. Jake Irvin making his debut versus Marcus Stroman. And this was just another game that I was like, easy pass here. I see earlier today, Jimmy the Bag was talking about all the money. I believe all the large bets were on the Nationals. People think the Nationals are alive here today with Jake Irvin. I'll just watch. I'm good. I'll pass. Marcus Stroman, not my favorite pitcher. I should say not my favorite human, but he's a really good pitcher that I've backed at several points in this year. So I've got nothing on this game. Cab, did you have anything here?
No, I mean, I'd lean Cubs here, but like I said, not at this price. Yeah, and the Nationals were scrambling here because this was supposed to be a cool spot. Yeah, I would only look Cubs here. I don't get behind somebody in their debut ever, not ever in baseball.
Yeah, you're a strong proponent of that.
Ever.
I've low key adopted that. I was on it last year, but I have not backed anyone in their debut this year yet, I believe. So interesting note there. By the way, Mr. He was talking about his White Sox, so I'll skip the Yankees game and we'll talk about that White Sox game first because I'm a White Sox hater. I've been the guy that's been screaming at the top of this White Sox team is horrible. I was fading them during their 10-game losing streak, et cetera, et cetera. And the baseball gods looked down upon the White Sox and said, you will have a win. And they score 7 runs in the 9th inning against the Rays. They lose last night? No, they won last night. Right. I was on the -1. And Eloy hit a home run late, I believe. It was 3-2 their final. I think that's how that went. Let me know if I was wrong there, Mr. Heat. But I think this White Sox team is just horrible. Really. I think it's super bad. It's a team that it's like the Phillies in the sense that they have DHs all over the field and their defense struggles because of it. I'm sure Mr. He can talk about how their defense has been horrific, but Tim Anderson's a big part of the team, and him being back is definitely a big part of why they can win ball games now. Dylan Cease on the bump versus Louis Varland. Cab, I'll be honest with you. Only way I'm betting this game is the fucking Minnesota Twins here. There's no chance I can back the White Sox with Dylan Cease, with fucking whoever. It's just, I can't do it. And Louis pitched okay. In AAA, his last start, he's been up and down. He's kind of their 6th guy in the rotation, goes up and down. 5 1/3, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 8 Ks, 2 walks. He pitched against the Yankees already this year in the majors, 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs. I like that. And, he had 2 good starts against the White Sox last year. So, honestly, this seems like a twin spot to me here, but I wanted to talk it out. Mr. Heat, you've watched this squad. Like you're saying, the defense is a horrible. You said they're going to turn around. What do you think? Why do you think they're going to turn around? I honestly like Minnesota here again. I was on them yesterday -1. I lost, but I just keep fading the White Sox until they're, until they're actually good. Who knows? But, Cab, what do you think of this game?
There's just certain things like I was saying with going against the Braves, or going against Cease. I definitely don't want to back the White Sox here, but I don't find any excitement, betting against Dylan Cease, even though he's been off his last 2 games. In his last start, he gave up the 6 earned runs, 9 hits, 2 walks, and 4 innings. That was against Tampa Bay. And he got kind of hit by him in back-to-back starts right there. He surrendered 10 runs and 15 hits in just 8 total innings. He did have a start April 10th versus the Twins right here. He picked up the win. He gave up 1 earned run and 3 hits in 5 innings, and that's why I'm staying away from it here, is because I could easily see him going through giving up 1 run through 5 innings or 6 innings. Maybe a full game bet if you're going to go with the Twins here. I would only take Chicago in the first 5, and that's not something I'm doing.
Fucking muted. Fucking muted.
Uh-huh.
It's tough because Dylan Cease has dominated them last year. So that's the thing that keeps me off of it, really, I guess. 5 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs. And like you mentioned, only one of them earned. So it makes it tough. So I pass on this game.
Minnesota splits against righties, just for people that are interested in betting it. They're hitting 248 team batting average against righties, a 426 slugging percentage. So they're much better against righties than they are against lefties here. And I guess in the past, if you look at all of his starts with the Twins, he's 4-4 with a 4.83 ERA. So you got that if you are looking to jump it.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm going to stay off the game. And obviously the White Sox bats have been shit and the Twins bats have been good last 2 weeks, 121 weighted runs created plus. So I'll pass. Let's move on to the next game here, Cab. Let's talk. We skipped Cleveland Guardians, New York Yankees. So let's go back to that one real quick. Bieber, Clark Schmidt. By the way, Clark Schmidt 1-6 in games so far this year when he starts with the Yankees. So they've just not been good this year. And what's funny? It's just like, can we actually see this Yankees team just be bad this whole year? Because all their young guys aren't even hitting. All the young guys I thought they could rely on a little bit this year could hit. And, obviously with Judge out for however long, Mike Stanton's out routinely every year and now out again now. So I can never back the Yankees right now. I've just been cashing in from unders in this series. The only fucking thing I've done well in my life recently is bet these 2 unders. Or bet the unders in the last 2 games, I should say. So I honestly lean that way again, just because, even though Clark Schmidt has not been pitching well, I still don't think that the Guardians offense is scary enough to get me to bet an over in this game. So I would just lean under here again. I don't think I'm going to move on it here. Like I said, I've cashed in the last 2, so maybe I stay off here, go back to the well. I'm not sure. I'd love to see what the chat says, but last 2 weeks, I'll mention 24th, 72 weighted runs created plus, and 29th, 62 weighted runs created plus. If I can get that out of my fucking mouth, but are those 2 teams? So they're just not good right now, hitting wise.
Yeah, Guardians got Bieber on the mound here. He pitched well against the Yankees already this season. He was outstanding, actually. He limited them to only 2 runs, and he had 7 innings. That was a 3-2 win for him. And he's actually been better this season on the road than he has at home. On the road, he's got a 2.88 ERA, and he's got 4 starts to back that up. And Schmidt, you can't rely on this guy. So, he just allowed 5 runs against the Rangers over the weekend. So, yeah, I would only look Cleveland here. I'm off this game.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad we're on the same page, I guess, then. So let's move on to the next game. My Boston Red Sox and the Toronto Blue Jays here. Manoah versus Pivetta. And it's a tough game for me sidewise, obviously, because I'm a biased piece of shit. I bet the under here. I bet the under 9.5. Last night it was at 9 too, which is very interesting as well. But I bet it the under 9.5. I need to double check the odds. I believe it was -115. But I just think that Pivetta can come out here and pitch pretty decently, and it's scary taking unders in this series, honestly. Pivetta has been okay against the Blue Jays, and I think honestly, low key, he always gets a little bit revved up because he's Canadian, obviously facing your home country squad, so you get a little jacked up there. He faced them 4 times last year. 4 innings, 5 earned runs, 4 2/3, 2 earned runs, 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 5 innings, 4 runs. So he's been fine. And then I mentioned earlier today, I'm betting with the bag. Manoah has had beef with Alex Verdugo here. I think I know Alek Manoah is a type of pitcher because I was very similar. I just sucked dick. You're fueled by spite and rage. And he dominated his last appearance when he was fueled by spite and rage against the Yankees, but then struggled his last appearance 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, which was honestly not even struggling. That's just still a good start. But I bet the under here, thinking both these pitchers can lock it down. I think the Red Sox bullpen's obviously good, like I've been mentioning, and the Blue Jays bullpen scares me, but 9.5, high number, under for me.
Yeah, I kind of think Manoah can keep it rolling here, so that'll support your under, I guess. In his recent starts, he's had 12 strikeouts in his last 15 innings. So, and in the past, he's kind of dominated the Red Sox. 4 wins and 6 starts with the 1.46 ERA and 33 strikeouts. And I think this is a spot where, Spite and, trying to get rolling is going to be behind Manoah. I think he comes out, playing in Boston is always got to be exciting for everyone. I don't care what the situation is. And Pivetta doesn't get me excited. He struggled through 5 innings most of the time. It's the only thing that would worry me about, betting a total here. But I lean Blue Jays to Manoah here. I'd probably just take them on the money line in this game, actually.
Oh, okay, fair enough. And by the way, shout out to Markel because he's going over on the game, and RVD 420 going over as well. So I don't blame you guys. Fuck, I've been shit this season, so you guys might be on the better side if you're on the opposite side of me. So shout out to you guys though. All right, let's go into the next game here, Dabby Cab, and I appreciate the compliments on the haircut, AOD. It's going to be interesting, this next game. Baltimore Orioles versus the Kansas City Royals. If I was more confident in my capping right now, I would be on the Kansas City Royals in this game. I know Zach Greinke pitches just significantly better at home in Kauffman, coming off of him getting fucking crushed last time at Minnesota. I just think he can come out here and pitch well against the Orioles bats, who have been struggling as of late against righties. 91 weighted runs created plus last 2 weeks, 110 full season. So it's tough. It's tough here. So like I said, I would lean that way. If I wasn't such a pussy, I would take them. But I'm at the end of the day, I don't want to back the Royals, who have the 30th worst offense against righties, 65 weighted runs created plus. Full season, last 2 weeks is 59, full season 65, both last. If they showed any kind of improvement, I might be on them. But Kyle Gibson, I guess, can dominate this squad. Whoop-de-fucking-do, Kyle Gibson. So Royals are pass for me, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's a good spot for the Royals. Gibson's been mediocre pitcher on the road, to say the least, this year. He's got an ERA of over 5. He's given up 3 home runs in 3 starts. And you said it, Greinke's been more effective at home. Really in his everything. He doesn't give up as many home runs at home. His exit velocity is down at home. He does everything a little better. And the Orioles, I know they have the second best record in the American League, so that's probably what's keeping you off this. But they have a smaller margin than error. They have a smaller margin of error than most teams, and I just think this is a really good spot for the Royals here.
Okay. Yeah, fuck. I should not be such a puss-safe bitch, but it's the Royals, like you guys are mentioning. Bo Jackson, Royals are 1-13 since 10-30-22 at home. Just
they're not good. I wouldn't bet the Royals. I'm just telling you, I think this is I cap it towards a decent spot for them, but I'm not betting them.
I agree. No, I'm right there with you. The Royals, their offense is fucking horrific, and their bullpen's nothing to be good about. And Zach Greinke's an old man and just gave up 7 earned runs. I hear all of that, but if I'm making a bet, gun to head, I'm not laying -160 with Kyle Gibson and the Royals bats, who have been silently worse last 2 weeks. Maybe an under. Maybe take a full game under in this game. But I've got really nothing in this game. But I'll mention, by the way, Markel also is on the Orioles only. It's very funny that we've been on the opposite side of 2 games, Markel. I wonder who you're on the next game we talk about, so we can keep that rolling. But there's this thing, because I have a friend that's a Royals fan. Don't feel bad for him because he's also a Kansas City Chiefs fan. So, but we talk about the Royals, and he's like, "Oh, dude, I wish I lived in Kansas City, bro." Because they hand out these fucking tickets for home games, Cab, and you can see why they're fucking. Well, they're 1 in
terrible.
It's like literally $30 for a month's worth of home game tickets. I'm like, oh my God, that's so ridiculously cheap. But it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to go watch the worst hitting team in baseball. Why the fuck would I do this? So let's move on here into this next game. Angels Cardinals here. Ohtani gracing our screen, our presence. I've said this, and I'll keep saying this. I think he's the greatest baseball player that we'll ever see play baseball. There will be no one else that does what he does. I love him. I'm glad I was an early adopter. It makes me feel like I was on the right side of history. But I'll say this. Something smells really fishy about this fucking game.
As somebody who's already bet it, yeah, I can tell you the line just keeps moving against the Angels, like trying to ask you to bet on Ohtani. You don't got to keep asking me. I mean, I already fucking did it. I took him in the first 5 on the run line, plus 103. But yeah, something's
plus money.
Something's up. But you know what? Like you got me, so I was gonna bet it anyways. So
you got me. No, I've had those moments this year as well. Like I'll give out a show or a play on betting with the bag. And the Jimmy will just go on about how this is a clear trap and et cetera, et cetera. I'm like, well, I fucking got me. I'm in it. I'm in the trap. Yeah, it was minus 145 yesterday. Now down to minus 130. I mean, I guess Miles Michaelis is going to have another good start coming off of his San Francisco start. Ohtani struggled for the first time in his season, giving up 5 earned runs against Oakland in a minus 300 fade spot that I was so fucking pissed to lose. Just that was one of the more annoying minus 300 fades because you fucking get to Ohtani and the fucking Oakland A's can't do shit for me. And an 8-7 win for them there. Fucking killed me there. Minus 300 fade is not for the faint of heart. You should also, if you're smart, I'm not a smarty. If you take those minus 300 fades with me, just take the plus 1.5 too, because all these fucking games are 1 run.
You could have got 2.5 probably, bro.
Probably. All these games are 1 run. It's sickening. I lose by 1 run every game. It fucking makes me so pissed off here, Dabby Cab. But, you know, as we're saying this, I mean, I had nothing on this game, honestly. It seems like it's Cardinals or pass, and I don't want to fade the greatest baseball player I think has ever lived. So,
man, fuck that. It's not Cardinals. You got Ohtani on the mound. I don't give a shit about anything else. Ohtani's on the mound. He's in the rotation, or in the lineup. Excuse me. He scores runs for himself when he has to. When the Angels won't score for him. You know, and honestly, you've got some numbers here against Michaelis. Fuck. You got Trout 3 for 7. Rendon has 5 hits and 11 at bats. You know, the Angels as a whole, 13 for 46 right here. I just, you know, he's been struggling this year. I know his numbers are going to keep improving because he's a better pitcher than the numbers show. But he's not putting Ohtani at minus 130 good. I don't care. So I'll take the bait. I'll probably regret it tomorrow, but I don't care. And I'll take it again. Even after losing this, I'd take it again and again, because more times than not, Ohtani is going to cash this type of number for you.
Yeah, it's everything points that way logically. It just doesn't make sense. And especially because the Cardinals have been so fucking shit. By the way, shout out to Lucas Ryan and happy early birthday to Lucas Ryan. He's going to this game. Birthday is tomorrow. So shout out to him. Apparently, St. Louis is really jacked up about this. And by the way, I'll mention this. We'll talk about Shohei Ohtani's free agency and all that stuff throughout the year. But St. Louis is a low-key big franchise that throws around big money, has tried to win big free agents before. They're a great baseball town. They're going to come out in force to see Ohtani. Wouldn't be surprised at all if Ohtani had them in they're like his final whatever, if they come collect. So I'll be interested to watch all that because it's a great atmosphere. The fans will probably try to win him over, etc.
Shout out to Brad. I think that first 5 under is a pretty good look.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. First 5 under in this game, not bad look at all. But you want to know first 5 under I am going to be on?
Sure.
Milwaukee, Colorado here. These are the 2 worst teams against left-handed bats, and it's kind of not close. Last are the Colorado Rockies, 63 weighted runs created plus full season, 53 last 2 weeks. That's last. Second to last are the Milwaukee Brewers full season, 72, and 27th, 66 weighted runs created plus. I mean, You're giving me a 7? A first 5 under 7? I mean, I was like, all right, I'll take it because Kyle Freeland has been obviously up and down this year. He started out great. And I was like, wow, the fuck is this guy? And now he's kind of leveled off 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs in his last start at home against the Diamondbacks. I liked he's coming off a home start. That makes me feel better. Lauer, it's interesting because Lauer has had, and I have not looked at this stat in a little bit now, but he had the highest drop in his fastball velocity in all of the majors. Last year was at like 94. Now it's at like 90 to 89. I'm like, ugh. I mean, I liked him a lot last year, but now that he's throwing just slop jalop out there, I'm a little wary. But I'm going to go back to him here just because the Rockies are, in fact, that horrible. I am a little concerned. I'm looking up in his career against the Rockies, 1-5 with an 8.39 ERA. Not ideal.
That's not good at all.
Not ideal. I'm going to look up Coors as well. Oh, God. At Coors, 0-5 with a 15 ERA. Not ideal. Again, not ideal. Last year, he went there, 1 start, 2 2/3, 6 hits, 7 earned runs off 2 home runs right there. So, yeah, I like the first 5 under here. I'm going to move on it. I'm going to trust my guy, Eric Lauer. Fucking learn from your mistakes, my man. And this is the worst offense against lefties in baseball right now. And I've made this mistake, Cap. As I say this, I'll pass it to you because I've been talking for a little bit here. I've made this mistake where I think the poor hitting will get dominated by poor pitching. But it seems like every time the poor hitters just they're like, oh, well, this ball's coming right down the middle. I can't not miss this. That's what it seems like. So I'll make the mistake one more time, and I'll take the first 5 under here and fucking fingers crossed for this shit as I check the chat. What do you think here, Cav? It's going to be an interesting game.
Colorado's been bad, man. They're scoring only 3.97 runs per game, so that supports you there. That's 23rd in the majors. They're giving up 5.83 runs in return. That's also pretty bad. That's 28th in the majors. Their pitching staff has a 5.36 ERA. That's 27th, and a 1.48 whip. That's also 27th. I mean, Rockies have just been bad overall. I'm off this game. I'll just stop going on. I can give numbers all day on it, but I didn't bet it.
Yeah, I'm on the under 7 minus 115 officially here. I myself said that I do not like betting unders. Especially this year when I have a suspicion that the balls might be a little juiced, et cetera, et cetera. But my card so far, and what it seems like, is going to be all unders today. So shout out to my guy Noli Knows. I hope I'm making you proud out there. Last game on the card, a game that fucking frustrated the hell out of me. Shout out to my guy Mason Miller, went out there and dominated. But the Oakland A's got fucking equally as buttholed by a debutante, Bryce Miller. Dominated them, and we'll be talking about Bryce Miller shortly, or not shortly, I guess in the coming days, but might be a bet on pitcher after that. That was really impressive. But I really had nothing here with JP Sears. Logan Gilbert is interesting because he's had like a shoulder injury, but they've given him some rest, and shoulder injuries kind of scare me. So I ultimately was like, you know what? I'm good here. Seattle's not that good against lefties. Maybe I can get behind the JP Sears experience here, but yeah, I just ended up passing ultimately, unfortunately.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet Oakland, just like I wouldn't bet on Kansas City either. It's just kind of the same thing. I know Sears did have decent numbers against Seattle last season, but he hasn't been the same pitcher this year. He hasn't been good at all. You know, he's got the 6.23 ERA. He does have 27 strikeouts to 6 walks, which isn't that bad, with the 1.23 whip. But he's just been struggling to get outs. Falling behind in counts, things you don't want to see. And you said it with Gilbert. I don't ever get behind pitchers if they have arm issues at all, like whatsoever. If they have anything going on with their arm, like at all, I'm done. I'm off it.
Oh, fair. And you would say, Cab, by the way, we'll talk about this real quick. What is worse for a pitcher, elbow injury or shoulder injury?
I mean, they're both pretty bad, man. Just depends on I mean, you want to tear your rotator's cuff or your elbow? I mean, same thing. You don't want to do either.
Oh, it's one seems like it's much easier to come back from now, and that seems
Like
like
Tommy John.
yeah.
Yeah, it's probably easier.
I would love like a little fucking smiley face on my elbow. You know? Fuck it. If I ever, that's one of my irrational fears as an old man now, Cab. One day I'm going to throw a baseball or like try running. I'm just going to pop my ACL, snap my UCL. And
Your Achilles is like going to split.
Yeah, I have an irrational fear of that. And I guess that's what keeps me not active as well, because, I can imagine it just like fucking 26-year-old dude just run up and down the court and all you hear is snap.
You're supposed to still be able to run at 26, Jose.
Yeah, who's to say? Who's to say I can't? Who's to say I can? Debbie Cab, you've never seen it. By the way, I did get the itch to throw with you today, so shout out to you. I got the itch today.
Let's do it.
What did you go look for? What did you look back?
I was gonna grab a ball, but it's up a little high. I'm not gonna grab it.
Fair enough. We can play with the Colton Wong signed baseball. No, sorry, it's Keston Hura. The Keston Hura signed baseball I have. But let's get into this plays here, Dabby Cap. We appreciate everyone for watching the program as always. Hit the like button while you guys are here. RVD, Andrew G, Professor Chris, Christopher Commentini, Mike Wilkerson, Rocco, Brad Summersell, all you guys. We appreciate you. Rick J, Markel, Prime Time, Real Deal Prime, I should say. Thank you guys for watching. Let's recap these plays, get out of here, and definitely drop your plays in the chat here as well, because I always want to know what you guys are on as well. Milwaukee Brewers, Colorado Rockies, first 5 under 7, -115. I'm going to be kicking myself later today if that loses in easy fashion. Tampa Bay, Boston, full game under 9.5, and I got a -110 on that as now I'm remembering. Atlanta, Miami, first 5 under 4.5, -115. Just go fucking do it again, guys. And then Tampa Bay Rays, full game -1.5. Run line there, -105 for me. Shouts to Nufflush Allen. Thank you for popping in, even if you did just come at the end. We appreciate you, my man. Happy belated birthday. Hope Vegas was great. We appreciate you. I appreciate you for watching, my dude. No Red Sox bets. No Red Sox bets on them, I guess, for me, Nufflush Allen today. So you should be proud. Dabby, what are you on?
I appreciate you, Leroy. Man, I got the Angels first 5 on the run line, half a run. It's +103. So it's plus money with Ohtani. I know the line's been moving against the Angels all day. I don't give a shit. I'm still on it here. So
okay, that's it. Only the Angels bet today, low volume. He's muted on StreamYard. Oh God.
You hear me now? I think I'm on my mic.
Yep, there we go. Where's Prime Time 99?
Can't hear me now?
I can hear you now, yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, I was just gonna say low volume works, man. I know I haven't done a lot of bets on the show, but I'm 8-4 on what I've given out. So there you go.
Yeah, hey, I wish I was low volume too right now, Dabby Cab. Maybe I wouldn't be such a fucking hole. So I can't talk shit. I can't talk shit. It's gonna be fun. I can't wait for this day of baseball. Dabby Cab, it's always nice talking to you as always. We will be back tomorrow morning. Betting with the Bag takes a day off because of the horse races, and he's gonna go be with his daughter. So shout out to my guy Jimmy, good dad. Shout out to Matt as well earlier today. But that means we're gonna do Betting with Bouquet. I will be hosting Jimmy's show tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Dabby Cab joins me for baseball. Mr. Billy Brisbane joins me for basketball. And who joins me? I think it's Gokster. Gokster for hockey. It'll be a lot of fun. Dabby Cab, you all right over there?
Just checking my mic, testing things with it.
Oh, yeah. Prime Time 99. Hit that. Get us a bet, man, because Dabby Cab needs that Yeti. He needs that sweet, sweet Yeti mic. Dabby Cab, like I mentioned, you're going to be on Betting with Bouquet tomorrow morning, but where else can the people find you?
Well, just here tomorrow. We'll be ready to break it down tomorrow. I'll probably hop on the horse racing stream with Jimmy on Friday. And then on Mondays, we're doing Medicate Mondays, me and my guy Dutch. If you missed it, go back, catch the playback from Monday, because it's more than just bets. That being said, I did go 2-0 on the bets I gave on that. So really high volume there also, like Jose likes. So,
well, hey, I call us the low volume boys now. That's what we are.
Mm-hmm.
The low volume boys. Whenever I become high volume Jose, when Bilbano rolls around, I get fucking fisted. And then the next day I come here licking my wounds, and then I become a low volume boy with you. That's typically how these weeks have gone so far. So it's, that's how we operate. That's how we roll. But I appreciate Dabby Cab you for joining me here. Can't wait to see you tomorrow as well. We'll be talking a whole lot of ball mañana. I have to start capping that ASAP because I have other things to cap that aren't baseball. And you guys know how much I love basketball. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Dabby Cab, where can people find you on social media, please? Plug your shit.
Right there below our names, at dabbycab.com. That's pretty much everything I do is at dabbycab.
At dabbycab.com.
Whatever the fuck. You know what it is. Why you keep asking me to plug myself? You know where the fuck we're at. Here on Pub Sports Radio.
I just want people to find you, Dabby Cab. I want my girl Chocolate.
Don't look for me. No, I'm just kidding.
I want Chocolatey Waterfall to find you as well. Shout out to our girl Chocolatey. Remember, that's not full chocolate. That's chocolatey. So shout out to her and all of her business endeavors. Bo Jackson, Nut Flush, Real Deal Prime, Ron Lofton, Leroy Flood, Professor Chris, Real Deal, RVD, Andrew G, Christopher Commentini, all you guys. We appreciate you guys. Mr. Heat, Gerald Jones, anyone else in there that's just lurking and viewing and not commenting, you guys are awesome as well. We'll be back, like we mentioned, early tomorrow morning. Say hey to us on social media. We'll see you guys for